Stan Gibilisco here from the Nerd Cave. The date April 2nd, 2014. So this is no April Fool. Black Hills Power, our venerable electric service provider, is going to raise the rates again. Now, I'm not sure exactly what their reasoning is behind that, but I can tell you that it's going to cause me to change my behavior, and that's not entirely a bad thing, because I've been relying a lot on electric space heaters for supplemental heat in my home this winter. And not only is that a notoriously inefficient way to heat your home and a notoriously expensive way, it's also a dangerous way. And I learned that just last night when one of the electric heaters that I had began to smell just a little bit warm. So I went to turn it off. And when I turned the switch to off, it stayed on. Now imagine if I had just switched it off and not checked, not looked, and just assumed that it would turn off. Well, it didn't. It stayed on full blast, and the reason, I believe, is that the circuits in most electric heaters today have switches in them that switch between different ranges of heat intensity, and they have to carry a large amount of current. And when you switch them with that current running, they arc, because there's, anywhere from 7 to 15 amps going through there. And when they arc like that over and over and over and over, eventually they're going to destroy the contacts in most switches, unless they're exceptionally well designed. Well, I'm rambling a little bit, except to say that electric heaters are a notoriously expensive, inefficient, and dangerous way to heat your home. And I've got a scheme wherein I'm planning to put a gas fireplace between my bedroom and my study in the wall. One of those two-way gas fireplaces, really cool looking thing. It's right next to where the natural gas line comes into the house, so it ought to be easy for them to tap into that. It'll cost a lot less. It'll heat over those rooms which are the coldest to begin with in the house, and it will practically eliminate my reliance on electric space heaters, probably saving me a couple of $100s a month in electric bills, even with the increase. So Black Hills Power, for all the bad things people may say about them. Now, I do have one thing to scold them about. Scold you about if you're the executives of this company and you're listening to me. And that is that you appear to be spending this money to mitigate existing problems. For example, the increased cost of coal-fired power plants. What's your scheme? What's your plan? Well, if you were going to build a massive wind farm or a massive geothermal plant, here in the Black Hills, we have geothermal energy available. Solar, not so much, but wind out in the plains of Wyoming or South Dakota. South Dakota's pretty good about wind power already, by the way, I learned. Pretty good about it. Let's get better then. If you were going to spend your money on that, then I would be able to swallow the rate increase a little better. I'd be able to wrap my two brain cells, both the left and the right hand ones, around that notion. But it appears that you're spending it on antiquated technology. Now, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But you gotta correct me. You gotta tell me. That's why I'm leaving comments open. It's a dangerous thing to do on YouTube, leave comments open. But I'll leave them open as long as people are decent to me. So from the Nerd Cave, that's it for now. I'm going to put that gas fireplace in there as soon as winter is over, and that's only a couple of months now. It ought to be, about first week in June. We're pretty much over winter by June, here in the White Hills of Dakota Territory. Put that in there. It probably cost me a few $1,000s, but it'll increase the value of the home by at least that much. Not only because it will be energy efficient, but it'll look cool too. Stan Gibalisco, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, ham radio operator, saying 73, which means best regards. And so long until we meet again.